Extreme circumstances are described by hikers on Mount Everest as the massive rescue operation continues. Following an unusually snowstorm during one of China's busiest holiday weekends, hundreds of people were stranded on Mount Everest, necessitating a massive rescue mission, and trekkers reported experiencing extreme circumstances. At least 200 individuals were still stranded at the Everest scenic area to the east, despite Chinese authorities reporting that approximately 350 people had made their way down on the Tibetan side of the boundary. For Golden Week, a week-long holiday period in China, the area had seen an influx of visitors. The Tibetan Autonomous Region is under the control of the Chinese government, which reported, however, that hundreds of individuals were stranded by severe snowfall that struck the region on Friday and Saturday night. On campsites at an altitude of over 4,900 meters, 16,000 feet. On Weibo, Chinese trekker Dong Shuchang wrote of the experience. "Without a doubt, it was the worst weather I've ever experienced in my entire hiking career," describing it. A violent convective snowstorm on the eastern slope of Mount Everest. Another hiker on Xiaohongshu remarked, "I glanced up in the middle of the night and saw that the snow had almost reached the summit. It the first time I was genuinely terrified of being buried alive." Snow quickly gathered around their tents on Saturday, forcing them to clear it every 90 minutes, and one Chinese trekker claimed that their party was too scared to sleep. As the weather deteriorated, they made the decision to come down on Sunday. "We met our guide's father on the route. He was out looking for him. It was then that we discovered there was a lot of snow in the valley." In addition, the people of the village were very concerned since they could not reach their children on the mountain. Everest's northern and eastern flanks are more accessible and popular than places on the Nepalese side of the boundary. For less complex hiking, without reaching the summit. Online images and footage revealed tents covered in snow and trekkers moving across waist-deep drifts to descend the mountain. The snow was quite deep and the route was really slick. One hiker reported, "Trekkers frequently stumbled. Some fell, others were bumped by yaks," noting that everyone made a safe descent and was taken by bus. According to state media, around 350 individuals arrived in Kudang, a little village some 30 miles from the Tibetan side of the Everest base camp, in good health, by Sunday afternoon. According to the reports, at least 200 more individuals were still stranded but had been reached. Hundreds of rescue workers, according to Jimu News, went up the mountain to help people and remove snow from the path leading out. On Monday, there was minimal official reporting or new information regarding the rescue operation. It was also uncertain if the weather had impacted anyone on the Tibetan side of Everest, which is also in Tibet. The Chinese government has tight control over the area and journalistic access is limited. Local communications seem to have been impacted by the weather as well, as seen by the inability to reach local businesses by phone. When they got to Kudang, numerous hikers reported that the electricity was out. Despite the generally fair and moderate weather, October is a popular time of year for the region. However, Chen Geshuang is one of the 18 members of a hiking club that returned to Kudang and reported that the weather this year was not normal. The guide told me that he had never seen anything like the weather in October. It also occurred far too quickly. According to the local tourism agency, ticket sales and entry to the Everest scenic area have been halted since Saturday. Extreme weather also struck nearby nations. In Nepal, since Friday, heavy rains have caused landslides and flash floods that have claimed at least 47 lives and destroyed bridges and highways.